Hey, welcome back. So, today we're going to dive into a piece of advice that honestly sounds super simple on the surface, but it might just be one of the most powerful tools for building a more positive, more resilient mindset. It's all about flipping the script on how we look at our own wins, the big ones and the small ones. Let's get right into it. Okay, so this quote, this is the heart of what we're talking about today. It's this powerful, powerful reminder that at the end of the day, the validation that really matters, it's got to come from you, from inside. So what we're going to do is break this thing down piece by piece and figure out how we can actually use this in our real everyday lives. All right, first things first. We're zeroing in on that really crucial first part, the act of giving yourself credit. And let's be clear, this isn't about being arrogant or patting yourself on the back 24/7. It's simply about acknowledgement. I want you to really notice the wording here. It says you have to give yourself credit. That's an action, right? It's not passive. It means we can't just sit around and wait for other people to notice what we've done. It's a conscious choice we have to make to look at our own effort, our own journey, and say, yeah, I did that, no matter how big or small the step was. So why is it so easy to just blow past our own progress? It's a really good question. I think for a lot of us, we're just so wired to focus on what's next. The next goal, the next project, the next milestone. We're always looking ahead, and we completely forget to glance back and see the mountain we've already climbed. We downplay what we've done because we're already chasing the next thing. And this advice, it's basically asking us to just hit pause on that, even for just a second. Okay, so acknowledging our journey, that's step one. But here's where it gets really tough for a lot of people. What happens when your progress, your hard work, just isn't seen as special by anyone else? This is the tricky part, right? Learning how to separate our own sense of accomplishment from what other people think. This little phrase right here, even if it is not special for other people, this is everything. I mean, think about it. We live in a world that's all about external approval, right? We post things, we're looking for likes, for comments, for validation. But what about all this stuff nobody sees? The internal battles you win, the tiny habits you manage to change. Those things are just as real. And honestly, a lot of the time, they're way more meaningful. So what we're looking at here is a huge mindset shift. It's a tale of two validations, really. On one side, you've got external validation. That's where your progress is only real if other people think it's special. But where we want to get to is internal validation. That's where you define progress based on your journey, your effort. And making that shift, wow, that's a game changer. Because all of a sudden, your motivation comes from inside you, not from waiting for someone else to give you a gold star. It makes your sense of self-worth so much more stable and powerful. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? Validate yourself, but how do you actually do that? Like in the real world, day to day? Well, the cool thing about this piece of advice is that it doesn't just tell us why this is so important, it actually gives us a super clear, actionable game plan for how to put it into practice. It really just boils down to a simple, three-step daily habit. Step one, just take a moment. That's it. Create a little bit of space in your day. Step two, turn that focus inward and actually appreciate yourself. And step three, find and celebrate those little victories. See? It's not some big, complicated thing you do once a year. It's a small, daily practice. So, what even is a little victory? What are we talking about here? It's super simple. It's any personal progress that you think is valuable. That's the whole point. You're the judge, the jury, the entire audience. It's about taking the idea of success and completely rewriting the rules on your own terms. Let's get real about this for a second. What does this look like? A little victory could be just getting through a really tough day. It could be making progress on a personal goal or finishing a task you were avoiding. Maybe it's just taking one tiny step towards a healthier habit. Heck, it could be any moment where you just decide to acknowledge your own effort. These aren't the flashy things you'd post online, right? But they are the absolute building blocks of a strong, positive life. When you boil it all down, this is the main takeaway. Your progress is your own. Period. It doesn't need an audience to be real. It doesn't need applause to be valid. The only person who needs to see it, who needs to acknowledge it, is you. And that brings us right back to where we started, to this really powerful call to action. Remember, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's a direct instruction for every single day. It's a simple habit that you can repeat over and over, and it can totally change the relationship you have with yourself. So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. And I don't mean for tomorrow or for next week. I mean for right now, today. What is one little victory, no matter how small it seems, that you are going to celebrate today? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.